Hi, welcome to this reflection video. I'm currently here at the HPG Works. There's sitting two teams with in the the Crisis Corona Hackathon. Just a guest checking it out. It's nice to see so much engagement to such an important thing as trying to figure out how to solve this problem, not just from a medical point of view, but also from a society and economical point of view. Like there's so much to do in these situations. And this video I was actually going to talk about my own predictions, like what will change after the corona crisis is over. And the last couple of weeks been a lot of talk and a lot of listening and reading and things like this regarding the corona crisis. I guess that's been similar for a lot of people, a lot of you there out there as well. And my own reflections is that I actually think a lot of the predictions about what will change will not really come true. So, for example, there's a lot of predictions about the office of the future. Like, okay, now everybody will experience how it is to work from home, and once the crisis is over, we will no longer have any offices. And I understand that reasoning, but of course that's overblown, I would say. From a practical point of view, when the crisis is over, every company will still lease their office. They will still be in the same lease, or they will still own their property, or however they are sitting today, and that will not change. Very few companies will be in a position where they can actually quickly minimize how much office space they have, or things like that. So for most companies, as soon as the crisis is over, it will be the same. However, as with certain other things, I think this will accelerate a change. So it will accelerate a change where if I'm a company and I need to renew my lease for 3 more years or 5 more years, which is the standard contract length for offices, at least in Sweden. And then I might think, okay, would I rather sit somewhere a little bit too little and then use co-working spaces or other spaces as extra space in that sense, so that I don't need to rent a bigger office, or might even be that if I need to renew a lease next year, because it's a 3-year lease or 5-year lease, but you also have 9-month notice period. So like if your lease ends next summer, then you might now kind of say, okay, maybe I don't want to renew it, I want to move somewhere smaller, or I want to move somewhere where it's more flexible and stuff like that. But I don't think we will see any quick change here. And I also think that people working from home works for some, but does not work for everybody. So we will see as well like a big concentration of like how do we actually meet? What do we actually want to have in an office? And we might see more, okay, I'm working from home on Mondays or Fridays. We might be more flexible, but we'll also see more like we should definitely meet once a week. We should definitely meet every now and then just to get that going, because that's important to have when we realize that physical meetings are super important for us in different ways. So offices might change, but very little. I think in the overall, it'll actually be very similar to how it is now. But it'll be more accepting to working from home. I think that's probably the biggest reasoning, but I don't think people will magically all work from home in the future. And it's similar with other areas where people have made predictions, for example, education. I don't see that we will have digital classrooms when the crisis is over. Maybe some courses might be more digital. Maybe there are certain schools will say, okay, we are only digital. That might happen. But a normal school, it will be business as usual. Students will be in the classrooms. The lectures will be as normal. I have a very hard time seeing that this will change a lot. Might change on the university level, for example. And that when at that stage might be more courses which are now open for just having them over the net instead of meeting. So on the university level, but the younger the students are, the less I see that digitalization will do any difference. So when the crisis is over, schools more or less like normal. Hard time seeing it will be different. And the same as with the service industry. There's also people saying like, we will travel a lot less. We don't need, the hotels are shutting now and they might not reopen again. I don't see that happening either. It might be that we will travel a little bit less, but traveling has grown a lot during the last 10, 20, 30 years. And that means that even if you travel less, it's just a question of how much will it grow. Will it continue to grow as fast as done before, or might the growth be a little bit slower? But it will still grow. I will be very surprised if it turns out that after the crisis that people travel less than before the crisis. It's just things that growth might be a little bit slower, but in general, people will still travel more or less the same as we do now. Even if, and the big change there is not the virus, the big change there will be climate change. Will it become more expensive to travel, for example, by air? Yeah, that will affect how people travel. But traveling itself, people will do that just as much as before. And we like to travel, we like to experience things. So my predictions are that there actually aren't going to be too many changes. We'll see. This is an interesting thing to talk about in 1 or 2 years. Take care.